to let me know how to find Isis, the queen of heaven and earth. Now we got another problem here. We got another problem. Because if she's over here, who the fuck is that over there? Now, everybody that already said Francis was the imposter. Now I told y'all it was some foul shit going on. Right? Now I showed y'all already. Everybody know what's going on. This is not haphazard. So, in the quest to restore balance back to Earth, under the orders of Mott, by the evidence provided by the CASHAPP, Mother Khadijah is the Queen Isis, the mother, the Queen of heaven and earth. I am the widow's son. I am Crown Prince of heaven and earth. Now, I'm going to walk you through some signs. I am the self-raised master, the master of masters. And everything I have shown you has proven this. But there's one thing that you got to understand. Because if you don't know who God is, you're about to find out. The black stone. The black stone, I told you what it was. Now we're finna show you what it is. Now, remember when we went yesterday, we went over the 5% information. And I showed you the Melanica, the Palace of the Rising Sun. We went over the Vesica Pisces. And the Vesica Pisces being the identifier, right? The Vesica Pisces being the identifier. So now, when we go up and we look at the Kaaba, now remember, it's a circle and a square, right? The builders built the box to house the mother, Alat. I'm about to lay it out for y'all now. Because if y'all sitting here thinking God is a man, are you insane? God cannot be a man. The Black Madonna returns. Francis, you gotta go. I'm finna show my people. I got everybody tied together in this. Everybody tied together in this. So let's go. We finna go do. This is the Kaaba. This is the Kaaba of Mecca. Right here. Right? Now, look. This is white. This is black. This is gold. Got it? White, black, and gold. So those are the colors. Right? Now, you can't see the black stone on there. But this is the black box. This is Pandora's box. Now, I had to get a replica. Now remember, I opened that earlier and told y'all about Pandora's box. Now, in my post, I identified the three kings. Malik Shabazz. Right? Malik means king in Arabic. But it also means angel. That was supposed to be Wallace Muhammad, but he got cold feet. He got cold feet. So Elijah had to call Malcolm down there to be the scapegoat. He had to run the red herring in order to protect the throne. In order to protect the throne of heaven. Right? So now, in order to protect the throne of heaven, a lot of people made a lot of sacrifices. But this was Pandora's box. This was the black box. So this was the Kaaba I had to open, Pandora's box. So now, the story of Pandora opening her box, she couldn't close it once it was open. I bust these motherfuckers in they shit. Once it was open, you can't close it. Now, let's go. They said that the black stone is the stone the builder rejected, the chief cornerstone. Now, everybody was looking for a man. Now, I want y'all to look careful. Any woman can tell me this is not a vulva. This is not a vagina. Is this a vagina? Do I got anybody that say this is not a vagina? Now we're looking at the black dot as Dr. Richard King identified the black dot. Right? But look, remember, because you got to get Baphomet out of there. I'm not making this shit up. I didn't post none of this. You see him in there, right? You see him in there. The perfected man. I am him. You can't hide shit from me. I'm gonna find it. Until this, what, to who revealed? The son of perdition? What you say? Is he in there? Is he in there? You goddamn rapist, come up out of there. What you doing in it? Is he in there? But we trying to get the imposter out. We trying to get the imposter out. See him up in there? I'm not bullshitting. They told me where the devil was at. Right? Waiting to devour the son. You see that dragon? Identify him. That's the portal of life. It's all symbolism, but it's to teach a spiritual lesson. But you can see, when the wisest man in the world come, everybody else got to figure this shit out. I'm going to show you where to find it. I'm going to show you where to find it as I find it. Where is he? That's the uterus. The Baphomet is a uterus, remember? You can't make this shit up. This is real life. So now that we didn't reveal who the beast, where the beast was hiding at, it's the Pope. It's the papal bull. Remember? Osiris had to slay the bull. What did he have to slay him with? Right? He had to slay him with the arrow. I am the golden arrow in native culture. I'm from the silver bow. I'm showing y'all this. Look. You can't hide nothing from me. I'm going to find it every time. Now, this is for the PhD. So now, I still got to show you the one like unto the Son of Man. Now, if I'm the Son of Man, there got to be some similitude. Something got to be similar in physical appearance, and he got to have on a... So now this is leading me down the trail. At the end of this video, I got to be able to produce the sound of the A tone being correctly intonated, and it got to match all of the signs at the end of this presentation. I got to walk you from what Farrakhan said, that when you hear the A tone, you will be at one. You're going to hear the right sound from the one God. Look, before you know who God is, you got to know who the devil is. They write it in Egypt, man know thyself. Right? Man know thyself. Look, I'm showing it to you. I'm showing it to you in real time. As I pull it up, I'm showing it to you. Now, let's go. I done tied all of the nations together. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Oh, Lord. I don't want to go this route. Okay, look. Now, this is on my bed. This is the... I didn't even realize this was the family crest. This is the blood ties. Now, let me show you what it looked like for real. Over here. Now, I went over where everything was, except the backdrop. This is the two bears. This is my son and my daughter. This is Michaela, and this is Jeremy. This is my clan totem tribe. This is the direct positioning of the tattoos for the blood right. Right here. But this is her. So now, remember, I have to show y'all Sophia, because wisdom, Ein Sof, is what I got to produce. Ein Sof. Now, look at here. This is Sophia. This is the wise woman. This is the wisdom that Solomon sought so dearly. This is the wise woman. Right here. The one that established the blood right. See, this is the blade. Look, this is showing you the connection to the gods and earths. This is showing you the connection. I went over all that already. These are things that I picked up in my travels impulsively. None of this was playing. Look, the young maiden. The young maiden. Now, my mother, Scotta, my Irish right. the redhead princess. I told y'all, my mama is the redhead princess. And y'all think I'm playing. And when she got older, her hair began to fade, it became gray. My mama hair began to gray as she got older. Right? She was the one. This is why you don't see a wine glass up here, because she is the Holy Grail. She is the one who carried the Holy Seed. This was Scotta. So now this is my mother right here. This is the Vice Lord. See, because you need the two women to confirm him. Needed the two women to confirm him. But out of the father's line, he had to be able to draw King Arthur's sword. My father's name is Arthur, remember that, right? But the struggle with the self, the bondages of the 7 chakras being bound by the curse that broke up the family. So then the chain broke on its own, right? Accept that. But in the course of my journey, you know, I had to acquire, because it say in there that I would get the key of life. Endure to the end, and I would receive the key of life. I put the whole family back together. Keep the game. Now, I had this takes me to Putin in Russia, because I had to conquer Thor. And this is my Norse connection for the Norse tribes. My Vikings, that the Moors were the navigators for, that concealed the secret. Jacques de Monnet, that died at the hands of the French, which tied me to Adolf Hitler, who had legitimate grievances against the French when he was attacked. But still, I had to be the black stone. The stone that the builder rejected has to be the chief cornerstone. So I collected that in Chicago. That's Jeff Ford gave me that. Let my people go. Right? I just showed y'all all of the rest of the stuff. Now I got to show you the man with the 7 candlesticks and the 7 stars in his hand, with the gown to his waist, and he's packed in gold, and he's like unto the Son of Man. And this would be this, because I'm in search of the A-tone. That's my clue. This was my clue where to find the A-tone. I had to find the A-tone to bring us all together. Right? The black ones and the white ones. The Hispanic ones and the Asian ones. The tall ones and the short ones. The fat ones and the skinny ones. The smart ones and the dumb ones. The healthy ones and the sick ones. The strong ones and the weak ones. I had to go through all this. I had to put it all on the line. Right? So this is your revelation of Jesus Christ. This is what God gave unto him to show and signify to his faithful servant, me. God wants us to restore family structure. This is what the science is telling me. I still got some receipts to do, because remember, as above, so below. I have to prove to y'all with the receipts of the day that I did everything I said I was going to do. I did everything according to the rules given to me across all disciplines, not just one. So now I have to write the receipt. Right? Now my day started out with a con artist attempting to con me. Okay? Which resulted in a receipt on what you call a 50-50 transfer. Right? Tupac took care of the 40-40 transfer. His seat is seat 40. Mine seat 50. Right? So now, that's Malachi Z. York. That's Malachi Z. York. He brought me the A-tone. And the A-tone is in this right here. This song, which this tape is non-functional at the moment because I don't have a working cassette player. But never fear. As a true general, there's always a way to win the battle. Thanks to my sisters out there, because y'all should stand up soldiers. Now, this right here is the final piece to the puzzle, because remember, Farrakhan said the one that came to y'all and sounded off the A tone, is when all of us will finally have one person that will make everybody the same. No big I's, no little U's. This is what they talking about. This is what the struggle was all about. So it all got to be explained in the end, right? God, once I got it there to the highest heights of wisdom and met God, God said make a family. God didn't say make a black family, a white family, a Hispanic family. God said make a family. I have to teach y'all how to build families and build them again, just like I had to build this family crest that I did not realize was a family crest until I realized it was a family crest, so to speak. And so there will be no breaking of the blood, right? My mama told me to leave that intact. So that ties all of us together. Putin, stand up, Moscow. Y'all can let them know now. It's all here. Now, I want to go back and point this out, because this is the 50-50 transfer for an Amazon gift card. Now you see the arrow that points up here to thought. Now these are my travels, you see. Now, me, I had to be Atum, right, who wrestled with APEP. And draw that wisdom from them. They there for a reason. Losing this fight for a reason, because you can't learn the required lessons to feed the youth victory if you have never been defeated. So yeah, Farrakhan took some losses, and Dr. York took some losses, and Jeff Ford took some losses, and Imam Abu Jamal took some losses, and Mumia took some losses. They all took losses so we can win. Put it all together. It's a big jigsaw puzzle. Take all their losses. Don't let them remain losses. Turn them into lessons. You can't lose then. Turn the losses of the past into the lessons for the now. Take the technology and the wisdom of today and apply it to the victory struggle. Unify. Find what you agree on. You don't supposed to agree on everything, or you wouldn't be an individual. But you can find what you agree with. Support what you agree with. The brother Lamel put together a program. I didn't know the brother from a box of rocks, but the description of the program, I agreed with that. I supported that. Anybody think I'm making it up? All you got to do is ask him. The brother came here. We sat and talked about it, because I believe in the family-oriented programs. I believe in the unification programs, because I know as a mystic, studying the blood rights, the rights to the blood, the message in the rights and the message in the blood rights, and studying the problem in the whole Hegelian dialectic. The only thing that this damn devil fear is one unified front. And we ain't got to kill nothing. We ain't got to shoot nothing. We can just sit down at home together. Everybody, let's go home at the same time and sit down, and we're going to wait, and we're going to see how much money he going to make off of our struggle while we sitting at home watching him fall apart. You can't do it. So your conscious community, if they really want to be conscious, if they really want to be conscious, every opportunity of unity, dive all over it. Now, a tragedy recently happened with Nipsey Hussle, and it's rare that I exposed to an artist from an interview that makes me interested in his music. And this brother was doing exactly what I'm telling you right now. And he lost his life whether it has anything to do with the struggle itself or the obstacles to the struggle, which is loose cannon gangbangers, or whether it's an orchestrated effort to silence a voice. It does not matter. Every one of them brothers that supported him in the aftermath, Nick Cannon, Nas, Jay-Z, them sisters, Beyonce, that is the message we should take from that. That brother is a martyr in our community for our liberation. If we let him lay there for no reason, he died in vain. But if we can find some use out of the loss for the greater benefit, just follow his course of action. Reach out to every brother you think is, hey, Jay-Z, won't you put crumb sound bites on one of your songs, man? Let the people hear what that young brother got to say. Let them hear him. Expose him. Hey, yo, Nas, won't you drop a verse or something with the Tasmaniac over there? You know, reaching out, making them connections. And you don't have to be, it don't have to be every day in the news that you making connections. Nobody need to know everything you're doing. But you have to be wise enough to know that your enemy does not want you to make any connections. And if the enemy doesn't want you to make any connections, then you should be trying to make every connection. Every connection. If you know a dude that's the police and he got some sensibility of consciousness, he can be used to quell the violence of those that look like him by taking the lead in dealing with those that look like him, as opposed to acting like the ones that don't look like him in pursuit of the ones that look like him. So as Ice Cube saying that notorious NWA song, Black Police Showing Out for the White Cop, it's not really about that, but it comes across as that. See, that blue wall is a whole nother bloodline. That's why they call it the blue wall. Those people that are drafted into it, they have to have a certain makeup, a certain character, especially if they come from certain ethnic groups. You won't take a dude out of a middle class environment to send him somewhere where he's not going to be able to function, unless you can find some kind of personality abnormality that would make him work in an adverse condition, which is a mild form of sociopathy, a sociopath. He had to be a mild sociopath in order to go from upper middle class and police to gutter, because he wouldn't have the natural qualities, or else he would have been born in the ghetto. So they draft a combination of officers that they put together, a sociopath with a masochist. The masochist will do anything to please that sociopath. So then it looked like the black police showing out for the white cop. But you can also see it in the reverse, because they learn to take what they call role reversal, good cop, bad cop. And they teach it in the academies as what they call Mutt and Jeff routine, where they put you between two different personality types to get you to break. So if your conscious community don't want to be an obstacle to the struggle, every individual that's aware of the leading and forefront members of the conscious community don't support any of their shenanigans to bring one another down. Don't support that. But if you see like young Pharaoh be like, hey, what's up, Prince Short? Get that brother 1,000 hearts. Let him know that that's what we support. We don't support to tear down maintenance of the overall oppressor's system. We can't continue to divide and conquer and overthrow oppression. What the people not really understanding is it's real simple. Once the unity is met, then the oppressors already agreed to go. But the oppressor do not believe that the people want to be free enough to come together and say this thing, hey, we want free. That's it. We're not tolerating the oppression no more. We're not tolerating all of the inequalities across the economic lines. when we understand that that's all we have to do. We don't have to blow nothing up. We don't have to send nuclear bombs all over this planet and level it like it's been done before many times in the past, getting rid of these monsters. Because we have a higher order of ancestor that has given a decree that if the people was to unify, the oppression is over. The people will unify if the orders are given correctly. That means that if we understand that where our power is and how to use it and make no apologies for issuing orders, if we can understand them three things, we ain't got to understand nothing else. We know what platforms are big enough for the people to recognize the order that's given. We know who the orders should go to because of historical decrees, ancestral covenants, and modern politics. All these come into play. We know it all. We know it all. Garvey wrote a whole play, but it wasn't a play. It's African conjuring. And he said that the kid, go read the play. I'm not giving it up. Go read the play Garvey wrote about the final king that everyone thought was Selassie I, Haile Selassie. That hasn't happened yet. And I'm going to tell you how you know. Because according to what Garvey wrote in the play, when this king is crowned in Africa, there would be no more suffering and no more misery on earth. This is directly taken from Revelations, Ezekiel, hieroglyphics, and oral histories around the world. So this is already written to happen. It's going to happen. Now, even if it was a myth and nobody originally believed it, there's something else at play called collective consciousness. This goes to the conscious community. Collective consciousness, I mean, everybody thinking in one mind. The collective consciousness said that a king got to be crowned on earth to end the misery. So even if when it was originally put down over 700,000 years ago, the first time, if it was a myth then, because of their continuous belief systems, adopting the same idea across culture, barrier, and boundary, across all geography and topography of the earth, because it's that much energy put into this idea over such a prolonged period of time, it has to manifest. And the closing of the age is now. This is the Jubilee. If it wasn't going to manifest any other time, it would have to now, in order to have a successful closing of the age or a transitioning of the eras. You have to fulfill all covenants and agreements with the Creator and the lesser gods. The Creator and the lesser gods. All of our punishments have been fulfilled. Do your conscious community know this? All of our transgressions have been redeemed. But do your conscious community know this? If they knew this, and they really was truly conscious, and they knew what was going on the whole world stage, then they would automatically know to push all conscious communities to one voice. You got to have one voice on the world stage as a collective. One voice. That one voice can't be egotistical to the point where they cannot speak effectively on behalf of the people. So do not let your conscious community, overinflated egos, and well-read minds seduce you into surrendering your soul for $1. This is bigger than money. Money is a side effect. This is the final awakening of those who have paid a penance for a prior misdeed. Everybody has to have an opportunity to sin. Everybody has to have a chance. Nobody could be deprived. We have to remember that if we're going to be conscious. And so you use events like a tragedy, like a Nipsey Hussle tragedy, to advance the unity. You use a tragedy to advance the unity, because if you do that, it reduces the possibility of the next voice being silenced, because they don't want to keep silencing voices if every time they do it, we get closer instead of separate. If we get closer instead of separate, then they don't want to silence our voices. Now they got to figure out a new tactic, a new strategy. But they have no more strategies if we unify. They're all out of cards. Now, I've been watching all y'all leaders. I'm waiting. They not doing no God shit. They doing some egotistical stuff. You know, I'm watching them. But all they got to do is figure this. If the prophecy of Abraham is in reference to the lost found Negroes in America, and that there's any validity to it, and as Farrakhan said in 1984, it's a significance to that year, George Orwell, that time dictates the agenda. And if you understand the times and you understand the prophecy and you know how to read the signs, you would understand the times. So once you understand that, you will know automatically what the agenda is. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. So we at the closing of the age, your conscious community are all in their little bubbles. And we as a collective have to start pushing these bubbles together. We have to start pushing for Pharaoh and Crumb to do a video on something they agree on. Not disagree, because the things they disagree on, the science will prove that later, because we don't have the luxury of time left in order to clear up all of the misconceptions instantly like that. We don't have, because it's going to take a whole lot of work to put together what happened, unless you know somebody that was there, like at the fall, and like was part of it, and that 3/5 compromise individual sometime kind of way became 5/5 realized and said, oh, that's why we had to endure all of this rapage and pillage and colonization and capitalization, suppression and oppression, repression. I didn't know we was that bad. I didn't know that as bad as we was, it made they worse look like they was being good to us. I didn't know that. Whenever that 5/5 realized individual will come to tell the story, and these isolated bodies of conscious individuals will have to have found enough common ground to come together as one. And until they find enough common ground to come together as one, the conscious community is the biggest problem to liberation. When the conscious community don't see that the only solution is unity, and that they don't have to agree on everything in order to pursue that unity, the conscious community then becomes the problem. So just like a regime, they have to be overthrown. And the only way you can overthrow a conscious community is with a superior consciousness. That means you would have to be 5/5 realized, a full and aware self. As the Kemetic said, man, know thyself. You mean you have to understand the full and total makeup of what you are physically. Multiple systems operating in one organic phalanx nanotechnology matrix. All of these systems are designed to work in harmony based off electromagnetic resonance and frequency. Are you aware of this? Are you aware that when your brain waves shift as your consciousness move up and down the spectrum, various amounts of your whole light body can be regulated as coming in through your pons region in the reticular formation at the base of your skull? Are you aware of this? I mean, you conscious. Dr. King told you about the black dot. Do you even know where it's at? Do you know how to enter it? Do you know how to get through the black dot into the realm of reality and out of the matrix? I mean, you conscious. If you're not the obstacle, you got to be the way. If you're not the obstacle, you got to be the way. And the only way is unity. The only way is unity. Only way to overthrow the same oppressor is everybody that got the same oppressor got to say, hey, man, I don't want him oppressing me no more, man. I ain't participating in his war games. I'm not participating in his war games. I'm going to tell all of these mothers, call your sons home. We ain't finna fight for these animals no more. Tell your sons and daughters to come home when because they got sons and daughters as MPs. Every child on this planet got a mama. If the mothers decide to exercise their rights of a mother and call their children home and tell them we not fighting, tell them they can take their AKs and do whatever with them, but we ain't fighting. All the mothers on earth at the same time. Who gonna fight the war for these animals? See, we not paying attention. We feeding our children to their military machines, to their medical networks. We allowing our children to be farms for human organs. We allowing them to be made into all types of food dishes to feed so-called royal families. And all of the time we conscious of what's going on, and none of our actions is stopping anything. But we only got to give 3 orders to clean up the house. 3 orders. The first order, just everybody stop and look like, what the hell just happened? What the hell just happened? But only specific people are qualified according to deeds and service to give the orders. Otherwise, the orders will not be taken seriously, and that's going to be not good for the entire planet if they're not taken seriously by the ones the orders are given to. So you have to look at the spectrum of leadership, analyze it. You got to find the one who's put in the most work and endured the most suffering and still remains in a prominent position in light of all of that. Because in order for that person to remain there, there has to be a greater power than himself to keep him there. There's no leader, black, white, Asian, or otherwise, that can maintain a leadership position in opposition to the collective will of the people unless it's a divine mission. That means that that person has something they have to do that's bigger than them and all they screw ups. And some of the things that they've been accused of may not even be the case. But because we didn't do our due diligence, we don't pay attention well enough. Because we are so conscious in quoting facts that we're not really paying attention to substance, the substance of the day, and how to remedy the situation. So we find various individuals in various positions to give us information. That's what the community should be called. It shouldn't be called the conscious community. It should be called the open information community, because that's all they do is exchange information, but they make no moves that affect change. See, everything is supposed to be to affect change, to improve upon the adverse condition. When what you do doesn't actually make a noticeable change, then you are right. Then you philosophizing. You're not actualizing. The philosophy is necessary, but it's not the end of it. You don't stop with the philosophy, because now you have to actualize it by application. This is taking the military strategy off the drawing board and implementing it on the battlefield as a tactic and a maneuver. It's the same principle at play. If you want to be liberated from your oppressor, do not accept any type of disparaging discussion from one forefront brother that's relaying information in relation to another one. Sisters as well. If they say something that support one another, support them, especially when you hear, if like they on a live like I am, and you agree that they said something that supports another unconnected individual, that show them love on that, because that's how they get the unity. They get to see that the people want them to work together. They'll work together because the people demand it. It's simple supply and demand. The people get what the people want. The customer always right. If the people want freedom, the only thing they can do is push those like minds together and make them work. Make the think tank. Put the problem up on the board just like they do in math school when all of those physicists get together to figure out how to get this space probe from Earth to Pluto. An insurmountable obstacle. They go and get all these physicists, these mathematicians and scientists, and put them all in a room, get a big old chalkboard and say, here's the problem, solve it. And they shut the door on it. And they come back with a solution to the problem. And we don't do that. So we see it work for them, and we still don't do that. Now, that got to be some form of insanity. Because you see what works, but refuse to use what works in pursuit of that which absolutely do not work. Divide and conquer has never liberated anybody. There is no record in the history of the world, in the ancient tablets, in the etheric record, and I read them all, and I have not found anywhere where divide and conquer was an effective means of liberation. I found divide and conquer, I found a subjective group of people being oppressed and suppressed. As long as you allow that divide and conquer to stand, your oppressor remains victorious over you. So wherever you see a conscious brother that you know do the work in the community, request that brother to work with another brother that's totally unrelated to, if he's a Hebrew Israelite, ask him to go work with an FOI. We don't care about what y'all don't agree on. We want to know, what did y'all find that was similar in the teachings of Elijah Muhammad and the teachings of Yahweh ben Yahweh? What did y'all find in common? What do y'all find in common between the teachings of Malachi York and the teachings of Ben Ami Carter? What y'all find in common? What did y'all find in common between what Dr. Dean said and what Claude Clegg said? Whatever they is, let's try to find, because when we find all that common stuff, we start to realize that all the stuff we was divided on was decoys. All of the things that we using to stay divided is a decoy. It's like you want to go duck hunting and you go get you a string of decoy ducks and you throw them in the lake so that the ducks flying over think